Matt Downer, what is up, brother? Were you in the mountains today? Sigma Rodin, afternoon to you. Marcella, hello, Marcella. Glad to have you back. Hope your week has been great. What a topic. I'm excited to hear about this topic. Today is a very smoky day over the Utah atmosphere. We've got smoke from California and Oregon from all the fires, and it's kind of a weird temperature. The sun's not really poking through. It is, but not much. It's a little humid. Jawara Conor McGregor is a lucky man stealing hot wives. I would just love the fact that he called out the husband and the woman. Guys, this is happening all over. This is happening. Like the transparency of women seeking other men's or other wives' men, whatever, other men that are married. I mean, is there any secrecy anymore? It's completely in the open. Like, people cheat in the open. I mean, I know people whose spouses have boyfriends and girlfriends in the open. There's no secrecy anymore. It's like they're entitled to have a significant other if they're unhappy in their marriage or if they're unhappy in a relationship. I know this one gal on the East Coast. She was dating this guy. Well, I don't know if you call it dating. They were hooking up at work. He was a project consultant, and she was working in the hospital. And basically, the reality is he had a girlfriend and a wife, and he was nailing this girl, Anne, a friend of mine. I mean, and they all knew about each other. It's crazy. Yes, we do. That would be fun. Marcella, Elio B in the house. Hi, Rad. Good to see you. Now, here's the reality. Okay, so the who hurt you is a very classic. I get these comments all the time in the comments. If you guys go back to past videos, you'll see that. Who hurt you? You're so bitter. You hate women. I don't hate women. I hate feminists. It's a very completely different story. But it's a classic spaghetti brain technique to shame men, and it comes both from men and women. Friends of mine have told me the same thing. Who hurt you? Your ex-wife hurt you. Well, there has been hurt going through a divorce, and everybody knows that. There's been hurt being monkey branched. Matt Downer, I was in the mountains with my Gorp, Brother Rat. I was up there today with my boy. We're up in the hills. We did a 7-mile round trip. And I was proud of him because he was not feeling very good, but he pushed through and he got there. So good to see that you're out, Matt, hanging out in Mother Nature. Lone Wolf MGTOW, I always put myself first. Ain't no woman on this planet that good enough. We always say put yourself first. You need the internal validation of yourself instead of the external validation of anybody. That could be a mother, a father, a girlfriend, a spouse, a boss, a coworker, a brother, a cousin, a good friend. The only validation you need is yours. Simple as that. If you don't have your own validation, forget it. You're going to be miserable. Beautiful life all the way from Laguna Beach in her vans. Mark, who hurt you? Mostly gravity. Do they want a complete list? Well, that is Mark, it's funny. The who hurt you is such a spaghetti brain technique that men and women use to shame men to get back on the plantation. We kind of talked about this the other day, that there's ways that men get back on the plantation, and the deep programming is one of them. And who hurt you is a classic statement. Oh, we've all been hurt. I don't care if you're a woman or a man. If you've been broken up, if you've been rejected, you have felt the effects of being hurt. And after that hurt, you decide, are you going to get back into another relationship, or are you going to put that relationship on yourself so you don't ever have to get involved again like that? Guys, breakups is the worst. right? Big Papa Monk found you from the Hammerham stream. Great context sub. Welcome, Big Papa. Tell me what part of town you live in. Happy to have guys that come here from Hammerhand. He's a great content provider. Really enjoyed being on that stream. If you guys missed it, check out Reverend 20 Pieces channel. The stream is on there. Bo Left, always a pleasure. I absolutely would hate a who hurt you as if it really matters. Well, it's interesting. I get them all the time. In fact, I have a video I did talked about kind of men and divorce and the lessons we learn. And I have men and women who hurt you. You're bitter. You're angry. No, I was just laying it out how my marriage went. What lessons guys should learn from marriage, from getting remarried, from going through divorce, right? Dan CP, hey Rad, love how you are helping men on your channel, watching from Dubai. I want to go to Dubai and ski in that snowboard in that indoor ski resort. That just sounds cool as crap. Anyhow, good to have you, Dan. Hope things are well. What's it like in Dubai? Do you date in Dubai? Are you married? What's it like with the women that are supposedly in a more traditional submissive role that we know? Guia Spiritual is in the house. Good to have you, brother. Mysterio, all the way from Canada. Waiting for Mysterio's questions. Always has the fun questions. Jawara, in the hunter-gatherer days, women just went with the victors. Nothing changed today. Although Conor McGregor lost last night, so maybe she, the wife of the other fighter, should be direct messaging Mr. Poirier. I refuse to romanticize relationships and marriage, says Marcella. Very, very good. Awesome to have that from a lady. I think that is very wise. Andrew Briggs, Rad, you think people in general in the U.S. are getting crazier? I was on a bike ride today, Andrew, and there was a Karen coming down the mountain with her husband. In fact, my son was right behind me. And the lady was walking so slow, so we stopped so she could walk around. And she said to her husband's like, hurry up, these guys are waiting. She's like, I will do what I want. Do you remember 4 days ago what I told you? They must have been in their late 50s, early 60s. It was crazy. And Cole looked at me and goes, Dad, that's a Karen. I go, that's a total Karen. But yeah, they're getting crazier, Andrew. You got it. I hurt myself by taking the decision to commit on a relationship. How about that for an answer? Well, I think we all did, Bull. But we learn from it. We learn how we will be and act the next time around, or if we choose to act the next time around. Men now wearing leggings. Yes, men now getting Botox and fillers as well. Not advisable or recommended. I got it from a former female coworker, December 2019, and from 2Sims, February 2019. Sigma. Well, it happens. There's simps in all facets of society, all corners. It just is what it is. Stay strong. Hi, Rad and MGTOW brothers. No one hurt me. They saved me. I love it. If you look at the hurt and the rejection, it's actually a good thing because we wouldn't be here if any of that didn't happen. We might be back in another second, third, fourth, fifth marriage. And now, what are we doing? Learning skills and stacking bills, right? And we're deciding how we live our life. And that is the key. From now on, the only one that's going to hurt me is me. That's it. Not giving my power away, right? Not giving my power. Now, we talk about the 1% to 2%. There's a 1% to 2% that I believe are decent ladies. Difficult to find. Victor Cervantes, you woman hurt me. That is why I'm repellent to relationships. But when you look underneath the covers and you decide, wow, I was in a relationship for X amount of time. This is what happened. This is the difficulty. The dopamine wore off. It became a challenge to maintain some sort of attraction. You both started not liking each other. Familiarity brought contempt. And then you ask yourself, and you finally break up. It ends, whether it's a divorce or a breakup. And then you decide, am I going to do that again? Or am I going to focus on myself? Right? Focusing on yourself is going to bring more of a return on investment, and it's going to help you. Or are you going to be the blue-pilled simp that jumps back into a relationship saying to yourself, this one will be different. I just chose horribly the first time around. You didn't choose wrong the first time around. The reality is the relationship didn't last because of the factors we have talked about. Lone wolf. I've seen some of Darius M stuff. It was a lot different about a year or 2 years ago. Poyer's wife was the only one trying to sneak off with McGregor. McGregor is a badass, but he's lost. That's the interesting thing, to see him lose in the last 2 years what he's gone through. But how about Nigeria beating the USA basketball team last night? That was an interesting set. I'm surprised that happened. Breaking down rejection, Mysterio says, if a woman is not into you, how can it hurt you? She can't do anything for you. Most women reject off the cuff anyways. Well, I think men get really into the fantasy right away. They say, oh my gosh, I like this girl. She likes me. There's some intimacy. There's some funness. I'm going to hitch my wagons to her. And they don't take into reality or, question the reality versus the fantasy. There is such thing as a fantasy, guys. We live in our heads most of the time. And in our heads, we make these stories up. Oh my gosh, she's going to go the distance. She's in the wall. She's not like the rest. And we build this complete chapter book based on this fantasy in our mind. But we got to take it from a realistic approach. What does she bring to the table? Right? What does she bring to the table? What are you willing to deal with? Okay. I had a guy that responded to one of my marriage videos, and he says, I've been married for 40 years. It's a partnership. And I wrote back and I said, congrats. That's great. 40 years. You made it through probably in the last 10 years, the worst part of society with social media, cell phones, the transparent infidelity, and I think they were on the cusp of all this crap. So they're probably going to make it, but good for them. I'm happy for you. 40 years. It's got to be 65 by now? But that's not the reality of most marriages, right? Those are very, very rare. Women get turned on by guys who don't give a F about them and put themselves first. It is true. Tom Likas talks about it. Go watch, everyone. Go watch Tom Likas. Women love jerks. YouTube it. There's tons of videos. You'll hear women calling in. You'll hear men talking about their experiences. But it's true. Jedi Dark Force. Jerry M has twins, so he was already played by modern woman. He's got an interesting channel. He was a lot different a couple years ago. He went by Darius MGTOW, if you guys remember. But every now and again, I'll listen to what he says. He's all right. He's a youngster. I like hearing perspective of younger men dealing with the dating world with younger ladies. Mysterio, modern society can't shame me into a male-female romantic relationship. Self-focus is the only way to a great love. And I say this all the time. If you don't love yourself and want yourself more than the other person, then you're going to need someone. And that neediness is a negative. If both of you need each other to make each other whole, that's a train wreck, guys. If you both come to the table with your own resources, with your own happiness, with your own internal validation, you might have a chance of something fun. But how many people can do that? How many women can do that? How many men can do that? And I'm talking to the Marcellas. I'm talking to Beautiful Life. I'm talking to Lisa. How many men out there are not needy? Especially in today's modern world. Well said, Mysterio. Girls love to flake these days, don't they? Yes, they do. Arrange dates and don't keep their word, giving all women a bad name. That is par for the course, Garrett. Par for the course. When she does not, well, first of all, dating apps, women have so many plethora of options. They have some 500 to 1,000. What makes you different? What makes a man different? Seriously. It's very difficult for the woman to determine that. That's why they ghost. That's why they make dates and they never follow through. LEOB, my best friend's girlfriend got caught cheating with a colleague of hers. Later caught her with her boss, married with children, who used to bang other women, and they just signed a 20-year mortgage. My next book in my series, You Can't Fix Stupidity. Again. Elio, interesting. Nigeria, you can never stop hungry, desperate, driven men. I love the fact that Nigeria, look, guys, we just saw two underdogs last night. Poirier beat Conor McGregor, and it was 25-1 on that fight. Number two, Nigerian basketball team, Nigeria, beat the U.S. The best ballers got beaten by a country in Africa. What does that tell you? Interesting stuff. Jedi Dark Force, I'm saying about him and his daughters to prove his way. He learned about women as they are not together. We learn about women through relationships, through other experiences, through watching, through social media. And I would admonish everybody to get the hell off social media. Unless you need it for like family, but just don't allow it to. I do have a fake one under a different name just for I'm in a mountain bike group and they only post on the stupid Facebook. So I made a fake name up and I get trail conditions and things like that. But I had to join that stupid thing, but I don't do anything else. But if I want to ride a trail, I check it out. Other than that, it's a waste of time. Jacob, I remember seeing all these beta males wearing masks last year. I saw a guy, Jacob, wearing a mask 2 days ago in his car. I wanted to pull him over and smack him. That gives men a bad name. He is afraid of life. Afraid of life. Stoicism is the way. Be stoic, like Don Draper in Mad Men. The Disney programming starts at birth and is really damaging to all when we come of age and start dating the opposite sex. You're supposed to serenade the girl, Mysterio, outside her bedroom window. Bring her flowers and chocolates. I always thought to myself, what if she doesn't like chocolates? Do you bring her now and later, or like Sour Patch Kids, or what? The Gid. If I hear the question, who hurt you, I'm asking her, who effed you? Very well said. I like that. Who hurt you? You're bitter. You hate. You misogynist. You bigot. No, I just decided to use what's between my two ears to navigate a better future. That's all. Good comment, the Gid. Lord Spawn is in the house. Good to have you again. And my friend is an 8, 6 foot tall, strong moral values, great loving family, plenty of friends. A really nice guy. Very sad. Elio, that just sounds like par for the course right now. Crazy stuff. This is what we're dealing with, guys. And it's in the open. Mark, my parents made it over 65 years. Dang. They slept in separate rooms for the last 15, though. You know what? I don't have a problem with that. I think my parents have been sleeping the last 20 years in separate rooms. My dad snores and my mom, they just get better sleep that way. Kiss each other, hug each other. Back in, I Love Lucy days, they slept in different beds. I mean, who cares? If you get better sleep and you're happier and less cranky, great. I think after 65 years, you get to the point where, it's time to get a good night's sleep without the husband next to you. I think sleeping with women in the same bed is overrated. And could be with men. Men snore, toss and turning, you name it. Dan, welcome to Dubai, where relationships are as temporal as the visa. As for visiting, I suggest you come during winter from November to April. It's got to be expensive too, but you got all that oil. So thanks for the recommendations, Dan. Great to have you. Sound engineer all the way from the eastern side of the pond. I wanted to do it early because I always enjoy sound engineers' perspective. What does this tell me? When Connor effed up, nothing special there, but the U.S. losing to Nigerians. Effeminate. Who knows? Guys, if you want it more and you chase your purpose and your excellence, you can win, just like the Nigerians did. There's only been 2 exhibition defeats, I think, in the last 40 or 50 years. USA was 54-2 in exhibition, and yesterday was the second one. Let's see, hold on. Where? Hold on, Gare. Could bring her spinach like Popeye instead of chocolate. You could bring her other things. Tens of thousands turning to the false accusation or fake DV charges every week. It doesn't look good. I'm just surprised the courts aren't waking up. But the courts aren't waking up because it is a moneymaker. Remember that. It's a moneymaker. Anger management is a business where you have to pay to go and get your anger under control. Most guys that go to anger management don't really need it. They've just been classified as toxic. My friend married last night. She was married 2 times. Most of women on the wedding have new boyfriend. I know all of them, says Victor. You know, female nature, right? Female nature can rear its head. And they're going to just keep marrying because they married the wrong guy. It's funny, you know, I knew this gal who was married twice. And she kept saying she married the wrong guy. I mean, that's a bad decision maker if you think about it. So she's going on a third one? I guarantee the third one's going to be bad too. My parents still sleep with each other in the same bed. Glad to hear that, Mysterio. Mine don't. Which is probably better because my dad is less cranky. Who hurt you is the question of a psychopath. What kind of human garbage asks a question that both recognizes trauma and misses it? That's like asking who raped you. Well, it's just a shaming tactic. Shaming tactic to make you feel less than them. And it makes them, it basically, what I think it does, when a man is not in a relationship, it threatens people that are. Because the people that are in a relationship look at the man that's happy and doing his thing and say, oh my gosh, we got to get this guy back on the plantation. He looks like he's got a great life. So it threatens relationships, I think, in a lot of ways. Or they wouldn't ask stupid questions, right? Good comment, Lord. I am MGTOW, but I don't doubt that it would be nice to have a loving wife, says Livigi Spoker. I just haven't found that opportunity in life. You know, we don't talk about relationships. You know, I wish that I got married not to get divorced. Who wouldn't want a companion? It's not about hating. It's about saying, wow, the reality of life of having a companion is pretty difficult. Let's be real. It's difficult. If you're in a very loving marriage, it's also a challenge. You have to work at it. Today's day is all about the quick fix, the easy road. So there's nothing wrong with going your own way and having a desire to have a companion. But you're also smart by vetting, what does that look like in your life? Are you able to deal with it? There's a 1 to 2% of the women out there that I believe are worth it or could go the distance. If one of your parents were widowed, do you see them seeking another? No. Maybe my dad, because his father was, he lost his first wife and married again. Probably my dad, and not my mom. Mysterio. It's also a question of the stupid because the proper question is, did someone hurt you? That's probably a better question. Spike in the house. Good to have you, brother. Courts are corrupt. Just look at Stephen Avery's case. Definitely framed. Courts are geared to make money, especially family court. Phoenix Swang in the house. Good to have you, brother. Good to have you. Talk to a neighbor into hiring a top bulldog attorney by telling him about you-know-who. You do not want to put your fate in some cheap-ass attorney. Don't. If you have to live in the gutter, do it. You'll come out ahead eventually. My parents sleep in separate rooms. The honeymoon must be over. At the end of my marriage, I think after maybe the 12th year, she started sleeping downstairs or on the couch. She'd come in every twice a week. And she couldn't sleep very well either. Happens. Father Saunders, good to have you, brother. Who hurt you? Me. Instead of taking care of me, I foolishly believed I needed a woman to complete my life. Well said. Conditioning was strong with Gen X. Breaking that took years. We hurt ourselves. Very well said, Father Saunders. We hurt ourselves by thinking somebody could make us whole. By believing the programming, how deep it was, and the conditioning. Well said. Why do women refuse to take accountability or ownership for their bad behavior? My ex always deflected and refused to accept when she was in the wrong. I think it's just their programming when they wake up. especially around the age of 5. I remember even my daughter at age 5, if she was in trouble, she would throw the crocodile tears. And, it just, that's what my sisters were the same. My sisters were the same. I think it just starts young. They just learn to deflect and blame because they don't want to be in trouble. Or boys take it. We get slapped on the bottom with a belt. My dad used to have a belt and a stick. And then we were good for like 2 weeks, so we burned the stick in the fireplace. That was in the 70s, man. And just think about it now. You'd probably be in jail if that happened. Thanks for the shout out, brother. Lord Spawn, as a shaming tactic, it fails when you respond by saying the person hurt you. Was you because you had responsible expectations of Stains, who asked psychopathic questions like, who hurt you? It's just a shaming technique. It's a way for them to put themselves on a pedestal and blame. It's a deflect and blame static. Especially in the who hurt you, they're probably in a relationship that's not going well either. Somehow we have to create a story in our minds that makes life even better. That's why social media is so popular. It creates these false narratives and these false stories of people having these amazing fucking lives. And guess what? Mine did the same thing. And she was living with me. I knew she wasn't happy. But she showed everybody how happy she was in her life. She told me, I hope this marriage is going to be the right one. I hope it is for her sake, but I don't really put any stock, Victor, that it is. Investor is offering over 125K. We can't find anything comparable. Nowhere to go under 600. Guys, the real estate market is crazy. Sit it out or you'll pay high premiums. Totally off topic, but the last 2 weekends I've turned off my phone and it's been enlightening. The Git. Solid advice there, brother. My favorite time is when I'm riding up the mountain and there's no cell service for 3 or 4 hours. It does a body and mind good. We are so fucking addicted to screens. It's crazy. Good to have you, Phoenix, as well. Matt Downer, I've had enough of this woke culture fostered by woke women. I just wish that we would get back to gender-specific traditional roles where both are accountable and that want to make a great life with each other. I can always dream. I don't get it. What money just focusing on beds? What is it? Just focusing on beds for a sec. What type of mattress do you recommend for a good sleep? Memory foam. I have memory foam, but I slept on a memory foam with coil last week, and it was wonderful. So I might leave. But the problem with memory foam is I get hot. My body type kind of heats it up. But it's fine. I sleep well. Okay, I can sleep better. When it comes to female accountability, they develop spontaneous amnesia. I like that term. Imagine if Hollywood made red pill movies. I do not go to movies with women superheroes unless it was Linda Carter from Wonder Woman back in the early 80s when she was my fantasy. Other than that, I could care less. Ian Blades. With women, it's always someone else's fault. They can't be accountable. Most of them cannot. 98% cannot be accountable. Mine would always try to skirt the issue if she was sorry. Okay, fine, just forget it. That's not taking accountability. That is escaping the responsibility. Gal asked me out last Wednesday. We arranged it for Saturday. No word from her. She ignores me and then came back today asking how I am. Good for you. Do not reply, my friend. That, and I'm sure if you set another date, most likely she would let that go. Do the same thing. It's just the attention she seeks. Lisa Smith, all the way from Kansas City. I was never allowed to cry my way out of trouble and blame. Out of trouble and blame my brothers for something. My parents didn't let that shit fly. You had a wonderful upbringing, and you probably apologize now and take accountability when you are in the fault. I do. If I'm in the wrong, I take accountability. Good for you. Very few Lisas out there. Lord Spawn, doing a little bit of laundry today. Do you believe in spanking kids? I got spanked as a kid. One day it stopped working. My dad spanked us. I spanked my boy when he was 4, and I never did it again. That was just kind of something that I decided that I could. I saw the fear in his eyes, and I said, and I didn't spank him hard. I just spanked him, gave him a little whipping on the bottom, and I just didn't like. No. There's different ways to do it. But I grew up spanked. It probably was good for me. I wasn't a bad kid. My brother, he was older. He always fought with my dad, but I think there's other ways around it. That's my personal opinion. I got my ass whooped as a kid. So did I. The real estate market is insane. Who the greedy Fs that want $500K for full walk? Do you know you can go out and get a really cool motorhome, like say a Sprinter? You can actually finance it as a second home or even a first home and get like a 2% mortgage for 30 years on it. Crazy. What people are paying for sticks and drywall is out of control. Guys, we're minimalists, right? We are minimalistic type people. You don't need, my house is great, but I don't live in but maybe 200 square feet of it. In this room that you see me, where I sleep, where I shower, and by the microwave and the refrigerator. That's it. I spend more time in the garage than anything. You don't need a lot. My parents never fully quite understood us, and I don't want to be a father because of marriage is shaming that down. You might have protected yourself big time, brother. I don't recommend it. I really don't. And I don't say it because I hate it. I say it because I've been through it. I know what comes, especially with children, and I know exactly what the rules are when it comes to a legality between you, her, and the state, or you, him, and the state. It's not recommended. It really isn't. Unless significant and substantial changes happen within the court system, don't do it. You're at the highest risk. That's like jumping out of an airplane with a 70% chance it's not opening. Would you do it? Fuck no. 9 million women looking for a place to stay after moratoriums, and the student loan freezes. They're all going to your house, Jawara. The water, wood, air, land, everything really belongs to God. Since when do they own and run everything? I remember having that existential thought, Phoenix. Who got to the, let's just say 400 years ago, the Pilgrims, who got here and just said they own the land? Like, who, did we buy the deed from God? You're absolutely right. No, we fought, blood and tears and mortality and immortality is how people took the lands. It's all throughout society. It's always been wars to acquire more and more. But you're right. I agree with that statement 100%. Hollywood has been shaming manhood. Remember the 40-year-old virgin? Yes. Although, how about McLovin in Superbad? The beta male turning into an alpha. Superbad's funny as hell. Best to live in a van than to deal with actual real estate. You're free. Guys, if you're in Florida and a hurricane comes and you buckle down in a house, you might survive it, you might not. But if you're in a van, you got plenty of options. You can get out within 10 hours. You're 3 states away. Never get a mortgage with a woman. Buy a dog. At least your dog is loyal and won't betray you. Very wise words, Gare. Why do women flake? I don't get it. Don't they strive for accountability? What they say and what they do are two different things. Actions speak louder than words. This is a red flag to everyone. Never, ever trust the words. Look at their actions. Simple as that. Word up to you. I am a licensed plumber. I see the process in all phases. It's just sticks and drywall. 30-year contract, mortgage, translate, death and deed. Well, I tell you what, Phoenix, you're probably doing damn well being a plumber because most people don't want to do that. The last plumber I know was a damn millionaire. So good for you. And you've seen through the illusion that the sticks and the paint and most of the fascia, the outside of the house is all fake anyways. They're not real shutters. They're plastic. It looks cool, but yeah, good to have your perspective. Absolutely. Mysterio, is it fun getting around the algorithms when you do your shows, or do you roll your eyes at YouTube policies? Well, you can't say certain things, but I do. I think swearing, they'll flag you, but you can go and watch a transgender channel, and I don't watch them, but you can watch like all sorts of that crap, and they talk about really crazy stuff. I hear they never get flagged because the left has an agenda. It's guys that stand out and say, "Hey, we want to be good men. We want to build our legacy. We want to chase excellence." And that doesn't bode well. And this channel does not hate women. It drives me absolutely nuts when people say, "Oh my gosh, you hate women." I don't. I think women are beautiful. Women are amazing people. You have to vet very, very carefully. You have to decide, are you going to go through it again? And if you are, ask yourself, what does she bring to the table? It's as simple as that. We're here to put ourselves on the pedestal. We're here to make our purpose first and, front and center. That's how we didn't do that in the last relationship, and we struggled, suffered, got rejected. Yeah. So working on yourself and being your internal validator is more important than anything. That's all this channel is about. Who can help men understand these issues so that they don't get hurt and take themselves out of this mortal coil? That's it. Or live a life of depression because they're putting all of their invalidation into the hands of somebody else. Right? Actually, Julius Caesar apparently was the one who determined that the whole world would be under taxation. It's in the Bible. I remember that. Give unto Caesar, which is his. Give unto God, which is his. If I remember correctly, maybe 70 AD or something. Yeah, he was a weird-looking dude, too. He had that Caesar cut. Oh, yeah. Why are Chinese investors desperate for homes instead of apartments? They want to own lands. Wait, that's a very interesting question. Apartments would seem like they would have even more potential. The Chinese have an agenda. Let's be real, guys. They have an agenda. I stopped believing in God and I'm a straight up violent misogynist. Are you Churchian? Forgotten food on. Whatever makes you happy, brother. Whatever makes you happy. We do not judge each other. We support each other, navigating life, understanding how women can play a role or not. Who hurt you? The government. The government hurts more than anybody. Yeah. The family court hurt me. Sure. Beautiful Life, Hysteria. Is a wonderful Def Leppard CD. I think the divorce rate and the lack of great rock bands is related. People are raised to be selfish, lazy, and delusional due to female-led households. When was the last time you guys saw some really good glam rock, hair rock, butt rock, right? Like Rat, Motley Crue. We're missing that. Right, Ian? Have you again? That's what we got here. Did you see the video of the salmon? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And I'm disgusted. And it drives me nuts. I read the comments. I think the negatives were like literally 200 likes and like 10,000 dislikes. I mean, now my buddy sent that to me and I was disgusted. Absolutely. I mean, do they really want to upset the apple cart? Because they're really doing it. Brad, you're on point. I bet your ex misses you, bro. It really is her loss. You're one of a kind. I think I am one of a kind. But she's off doing her own thing, and I don't miss her. That was a chapter in my life that is no longer going to be reread. Because I know exactly how it starts and ends. But thank you, brother. If men and women were transported back in a time in the cave days, who would it be harder on? Women. Men can get through anything. You could be with a woman 10 plus years thinking you found the unicorn, then one day it's all over and she puts that horn right between your shoulder blades. The unicorn has a horn for a reason, guys. We don't hate women, we love them. We are trying to explain the problems of the universe. You're absolutely right. Matt's out of here. He's off with his gorp up to a mountain. See you later, Matt. Still can't believe the U.S. team lost to an impoverished country with little resources. Their mentality was stronger than ever. That's why. They won the game before they set foot on the court. The government hurt me too. Good. And it is Butt Rock, Phoenix. Suzanne Fleming, it's been a while. Good to have you. I don't hate women, but never forget 99% of them are just greedy, large women. Guys, it's coming from Suzanne in Florida. I say 99% are not recommended, and 1 to 2% are. There are decent women out there. They're very, very difficult to find, and this is coming from a woman. Lots of women. Marcella says the same thing. Lisa Smith, Kay. We live in a world of a complete entitlement and lack of accountability. Where do you want to play in that board game? If you want to play with it. Good to have you, Suzanne. The Struts are supposed to be modern glam rock. I do like the Struts a little. Call me Coon, Spaghetti Brain. That's what my buddy in Oregon called them, Spaghetti Brain. He was going through divorce and he kept saying, gosh damn it, her damn Spaghetti Brain. Made perfect sense because she was part of the 98% that are not recommended. Call Me Coon's got a great channel, by the way, guys. I really like his stuff. Check it out. Subscribe. He's got some really good content. Very well done. Listen to Porno for Pyros. The old Perry Farrell. Heard the song Pets, where they talk about we make great pets. Yep, they talk about humans being pets to aliens. All I could think of was men being pets to women. Yes, I knew a guy that was actually a tour manager, and he hung out with Perry Farrell on that tour. I think that because Perry Farrell did the Lollapalooza, he put it all together. And he said Perry was the total diva. But I like Perry back when he was with Jane's Addiction, like early Jane's Addiction, like 86, 87 Jane's Addiction, before they got all this stuff. But great, the Gid, love it, love the fact. Take me back to the past. Porno for Pyros. T-Tox in the house. There was a time when I believe the former Miss Elbag was a unicorn. Then I got punched in the face by reality. Did her horn, was it really sharp when it hit you right in the face? Because mine was the same way. And I tell people, hey, I didn't know my wife until I sat across from her in divorce court. I'm like, shit, I spent 19 years. I have no idea who this person is. You don't know your wife until you see her in divorce court. I love the rock band Jet. I was listening to them today. Too bad they never maintained their groove. Jet's got some great pompin', very good Australian vibes. Love it. They remind me of a 60s type band with harder guitar licks, Mysterio. Rollover DJ is one of my favorite songs by Jet. Ian Blades, where do we find women like Suzanne? I think you have to decide. I really do. Like, I think you have to decide, hey, there are good women out there, and maybe let the universe bring them to you. And I'm a big believer, like, if I say, oh my gosh, life sucks, every day sucks, then every day is going to suck. But if I say, hey, you know what, I'm going to have a good week this week. There's something about that. Now, do you want to find that person? Are you willing to decide and create a story that brings someone like that in your life? It's 1 to 2%. It's 1 to 2% out there. So understand the logistics of finding the 1 to 2. T-Tox Selbag, yeah, rad. That horn was a railroad spike. That mofo must have hurt because I got spiked in the back, right in the back without, I wasn't even looking. And it went straight between my shoulder blades right through the heart. And now my heart's full of cement and barbed wire. No one believing Sinead O'Connor's accusations against 4-foot Prince. Oh, geez. And, the problem, Sinead was really good back when she was, even before she got big with that Prince song. I can't remember that first CD. But, have you guys Google what she looks like now? Google what she looked like in 1988 and Google what she looks like now. She's looking for attention. Her day has come and gone. She does not look good for her age. So what is she going to have to do? Bring something out with somebody that's past this mortal coil to get attention, validation, to be recognized. Did you ever watch the show Entourage? I think it had some good red pill content. I watched a couple episodes. I didn't get into it. But it was Jeremy Pivens was on it, right? And Dylan's brother, Kevin Dillon. Matt Dillon was cool. I never got into Kevin Dillon, but no, I didn't. I didn't watch a lot. If you want to see good red, actually watch Mad Men. If you want to see Don Draper, that guy's red pill. Although he was married, he never chased women. They all came to him. He was a stoic guy. I mean, shady, but very, very cool show was Mad Men. Did you guys ever see Lost with, the plane crash? I thought that was a really good show, especially with Jack, the leader of the folks. I mean, he had a little bit of romance going on, but his whole purpose, he stayed on purpose. So there are some RP out there. They're hard to find though. Jai Rai, I hope I said that right. A girl took advantage of my generosity, and I knew I was naive. Now I associate all women like her. It's not hard to do that. We for several years. You thought they were the same, and you try to navigate life with them. I completely understand that where you're at. Where are you at, by the way? What part of this world are you at? This is Halloween. Saw a black dude at the gym reject a post-wall thought. What was was he a big, tall black guy, like a basketball player black guy? What did he look like? I'd love to hear that story. Tell me where you're from. Great channel, Rebel. Excellent work. Thank you, James Gregory. I think I've seen you before. But if not, let me know where you've been. Beautiful life. The problem with relationships, we are forever questioned, never encouraged to go have a good time. People need to come to terms that both men and women roam this earth, and yes, we talk to both genders. I agree with that 100%. If you're on your purpose and you know your role within a relationship, that is probably the only way you could have a successful relationship. If you're questioning each other about everything they do, that is literally an idea that there's zero trust. If there's zero trust, how can a relationship exist? So very well said, beautiful life. From Laguna Beach. Will the courts ever pick up on the false scams? No, I don't think so, because it makes them money. Every minute they're in that courthouse, somebody is paying it. Somebody is paying it. So I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. And besides, it employs the officers to go and do that. But everybody knows that the false issues most of them are false. Even the judges know that. But it's just part of the cycle. Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. Tucson, there you go, brother. Was in Tucson a year and a half ago. Went to this really cool restaurant down by Tucson Medical Center. And it was a really cool little restaurant. It was like on a corner. I'll have to figure it out. But I had the best trout I ever had. And I don't buy trout. I don't cook trout. But this is what they were known for. And then we went, after the trout, we went in downtown Tucson and went to this really cool beer bar. And it was fun. But Tucson's cool, man. Brad loved that album, Beautiful Death by the Slaves. Every song talks about it, doesn't it? It's great. That was one of my huge post-divorce. There's only been 2 albums that really got me through it, which was 9 Inch Nails, Pretty Hate Machine, and Slaves. Those are the songs I listen to all the time. Especially Slaves, because he's going through actually a break. I think it was the lead singer was married or divorced, and she alienated him against the kids, and the whole album's about that. I could relate to him. Call me Coon, what is the common reaction you get when you ask a chick who hurt you? Do we even ask that as men? Men ask me. I got friends that ask me, oh my gosh, she hurt you so bad. You're so bitter and angry, you misogynist. No. I hurt myself, as Father Saunders would say. The court was hurtful. I just didn't understand female nature. So really, if you think about it, she didn't hurt me. I just didn't understand female nature. And female nature is real, guys. Male nature is real. If we're not on purpose as men, then we can potentially hurt women as well. It's not as common, but, is part of the deal. But who hurt me would be better, segued into, no one hurt me. I just woke up to female nature. That's all. Even if men find a woman on some level, there will be some sort of compromise. Most of my friends, ladies, need their man's attention and vice versa. Attention is the currency. We know that, Mysterio. I'm amazed at how passive aggressive women are, Andrew Briggs. I am amazed as well. I have a good job. Truck is paid off. Not outgoing. Stay out of trouble. What is the purpose? Where do I find it? I'm introverted. I don't date, but I'm cold towards young women. Well, I think you have a reason to be, right? I think you need to take that energy and put it in yourself. It sounds like you're doing a great job. Good income. So get out and do things that you want to do. Learn how to cook. This is what I tell guys. Learn how to cook. Go on hikes by yourself. Now, Tucson's probably too effing hot. Maybe you can go up to Flagstaff or Sedona. Go on some hikes. Take a trip by yourself. Go to a bar. Hang out. You don't need to talk to anybody. Just observe. Get on a bike. I love being alone by myself on the mountains. I love it. I do ride with a really good friend of mine. But when I don't ride with him, I love being by myself. I can think. I don't have to, even when I ride with my good bro, I still kind of have to wait for him. We'll meet up at a certain bench up on the mountain or a certain point. But, when I don't have anyone that I have to deal with, it's great. So you can have a great life like that. What do you want to learn to do? Even canyoneering is great. Hiking waterfalls, climbing down waterfalls. There's some really good stuff that you can do regardless if you're extroverted or introverted. It's all about you putting yourself first, right? Women who don't cook, clean, or suck D always ask, where are all the good men? Lisa Smith. The good men just finished eating dinner and they're relaxing in a clean house, about to get their schlongs taken care of. That's funny, Lisa. Lisa's real, guys. She just lays it down in Chinatown. I'm sure your husband or your boyfriend, I think you're married, but I'm sure he's very content that he has a wonderful woman that he provides and protects for, and she, in return, cooks and cleans and does other things. Younger women have the advantage over older women 50 plus due to the fit genetics of younger women look wise as well. That's why older women are edgy towards younger women. There's a shame factor of older men dating younger women. I heard of a 58-year-old man dating a 21-year-old girl. We determined that there had to be some sort of daddy issue at that point, or maybe he was rich and it was a good-looking dude that looked like he was 40. Who knows? But the reality is there are some decent women over 50 if they take really good care of themselves. But they're rare. They're hard to find. They're very rare, especially my age. The money of men keeping the courts well financed. It's a multiple billion-dollar business. Family court. Passive-aggressive personality should be in the DMS-5 manual. Wouldn't hurt, T-Talks. Suzanne Fleming, love you guys, but I'm way too old. Well, you're not old enough to give us great perspective on the gals today, Suzanne, as you always have. Even though they are guitar gods, I still lean towards Jimmy Page and Hendrix. I'm a big Page fan. I respect Hendrix as the one in the top 5 in the world of all time. But Jimmy Page, no question. It's been eye-opening to see women quickly hop to other men after a breakup, when most men take some time after they decide to date again. Well, I've always talked about this. When a man gets broken up, he's monkey branched, he's been completely sideswiped. It stops him in his tracks, where a woman can compartmentalize their issues. That's the difference. Our brains are so different that it'll stop a man. The man won't eat. It's difficult to get to his job. He thinks about it all the time. We're just very logical, and we're trying to fix it. How to do it. Women are the opposite. They can compartmentalize. They can continue working, raising their kids, divorce the guy, break up, and then move on. It's just how they work. We don't hate that. We understand it. The more heat, the more you can withstand. Well said. What I meant was they say that to get you to stop exposing their disgusting attributes. DSM-5. After I retire next year, says Jerry, I'm going to travel around the country, check a few things. Tell us what you're going to do, and where are you from, Jerry? Good to have you, brother. I'm going to the mountains in New Hampshire next month, and in September, going to North Martha's Vineyard when all the angry green-haired feminists leave, says John Boston. I'd love to see some pictures. And hey, maybe you'll run into Bernie Sanders. Is he from New Hampshire or Vermont? Maybe he's from Rhode Island. He's from one of those small towns or small states. John Boston in the house. Take some Twizzlers if you get some. Being alone is addicting. Being alone is wonderful. There's nothing wrong with it. If we're lonely, it's because we think somebody can fix us. Only you can fix yourself, guys. You've already been in relationships. You've already tried it. What happened? Enough said. We all have been done dirty by someone, but women are allowed to call us all sorts, even on live TV. We get blasted for trying that. I would agree, brother. I would agree. How is the weekend rolling for your sons this weekend? Well, I rode today with my boy, and it was wonderful. And then we got Del Taco. Del Taco is delicious. Motorcycles and mountain bikes are great activities for introverts, says Mark. Love to take long, solo, multi-day moto ride. Absolutely. Who was saying that? Yeah, anything to do to just get out of your house, see new scenery. You can do whatever you want. Who cares if you're introverted or extroverted? If I'm an extrovert, but if I'm extroverted but I'm alone, I love it. And when I'm riding my bike, I've got my headphones in. I'm blasting, LA Guns or Metallica or Motley Crue. I'm loving it. And I could be extrovert or introvert. Who cares? I'm on my purpose. Nobody cares, right? So when we give society the power to label us, introverts are weird. Oh, he's extroverted. He's a liar. He's whatever. We label ourselves. That's what we do. We love ourselves. And that's another thing. You should love yourself. Learn how to love yourself. And that's very, very difficult, depending on the conditioning, depending on what you've gone through. There is some sort of subconscious programming that has come throughout your life. And the more you are with yourself and alone by yourself, the more you begin to literally accept and appreciate yourself. And that's huge. Brad, did you see CJ a while back? There were guys in the 20s dating women over 60s. I did see that stream. It happens. Women in Utah are gorgeous. I would agree. I was surprised when I visited, but the New Yorker in me kept me red pill. Well, I think that you are a smart gent, Editoro, because you realize that even underneath all of the makeup and mermaid hair relies a woman with a female brain. But there are some very beautiful women, especially in Utah. The Northwest, no. I grew up in Oregon for 41 years. If the Massachusetts Family Court passed default shared custody, all the attorneys would lose business. That's the reason the Joint Finance Committee voted it down. It is all about money, John. As you know, it is a gamble, and the courts love it. That's why they charge so little for a marriage license. What, under $50? Because they know the divorce, just to get divorced. I think in Utah it's $350 just to file for divorce. So they got you 7 times what they actually 10 times what the marriage cost. They get the big. People say, "Hey, Rao, what do you think is going to happen in the future with marriage?" They're going to give free licenses away. They might give you the first year of health insurance for free to get married, because they know they're going to get your ass on the back end. Your destiny is your own. Well said, Mr. Tucson. Well said. Lord Spawn is back. You catch the fights last night. Caught some of them, but we did not see the Connor fight. The bar did not have that going. Jerry C., I'm from Missouri. My brother was in Kirksville, and Lisa is in Kansas City. Do they call him Missouri? Misery? Bernie is from Vermont. I don't go to Vermont. Anywhere Bernie lives, I will not go. And Vermont, isn't Ben and Jerry's from Vermont? Those guys are way liberal. I love asking women who hurt them. Brad, I just finished cutting my grass and was listening to Rush, Clockwork Angels. Very good. It's a very good. Rush is great, man. Although Geddy Lee, man, he is one ugly looking dude. But man, can he play and sing? I hate the government. Every Megadeth song, This Is Halloween. I love that. Brad, have you had experience in Utah with Jack Mormon women? My take is the religion is a front for their 403 degenerate tendencies. Don't ever believe a Mormon woman is chaste. I'll leave it at that. Mormon women are the most, some Mormon women, not all, but a significant percentage when they start monkey branching and divorcing are no different than women in Vegas or Texas or Florida or New York. They will, again, everything's in the moment. Emotions trump all morality. I'll leave it at that. I've seen male friends more wrecked over women than vice versa. It is because women have abundance over men due to men's thirst for sex. Couldn't be closer to the truth, Mr. Well said. We all know the answer to hurt women, the men who have the sixes. The man with options hurts the woman. That's all you got to know. When a gal says she's dating with a purpose, it means she wants you to marry her. I had someone ask me, 6 months ago, so what are you looking for? And I said, well, what do you think I'm looking for? Well, don't you want to get married? I said, absolutely not. Aren't you looking for love? And I said, what is love? The love's just chemicals. Well, don't you want a girlfriend? Do you want to grow old with somebody? I said, no. Why would I want to grow old with somebody? I want my own bed and my own house. She was like a deer in headlights. I noticed that I seem to be a lot more in sync with my extroverted male friends than introverted Mysterio. That's all right. I got some introverted friends. I got some extroverted friends. You know? Not a problem with that. Free vaccine, free marriage license, beware men, the government is never your friend. The enemy of your enemy is your friend. Think about that. Anthony Avila. Hey, Rad, sup to all the fellas out there, out of, I'm going to say Tijuana. Glad to see you that more and more Latino men are coming out of this blue-pilled socialistic matrix and are now returning to the good old conservatism. Men, good thing you say that, Anthony. Men are creators. Men want to build. Men want to create. Weak men want to take. It's as simple as that. Strong men create. Weak men take. Strong men are conservatives. They don't want to give all their hard work and money away to someone like a government. That is why strong men are conservative. And I have no idea why women, especially in today's, these liberal women, especially non-liberal, I don't know, most of them are liberal. They want liberal men. Those are weak men, guys. A liberal man is weak. You're either libertarian or conservative in my book. A weak man needs to be run over. And there's liberal guys that are MMA fighters. They look strong and struck, but emotionally weak as fuck. Weak. Well said, Anthony. What do you think of Capitol Reef? Love it. Love it. Utah's got some great stuff. Bryce Canyon, Zion's Canyon, Arches. Oh, there's wonderful areas in Utah. When I heard Ben & Jerry's was liberal like in the 80s, I never had their ice cream. Total soy boys from Vermont. I refused to do business with them when I was in the automation business. And they're weird looking too, man. Ben & Jerry's. Actually, their ice cream was pretty good before I even knew they were liberal. I don't buy it. But I hardly buy ice cream unless I'm out. I like to go to ice cream shops, but I never buy it for myself. And the only ice cream I'll buy is typically Breyers. Is it Breyers? Where it's like cream, milk, and sugar. Typically vanilla. Or Rocky Road. I like Rocky Road. I won't lie. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. Do you guys see that? What is it? Night at the Roxbury with Will Ferrell and Chris Kattan. That was a great show. You can literally see them turn intellectually potato in real time. Spaghetti brain becomes very spaghetti in that point. Long live conservatism. I would agree. Our country was built on it. It's really interesting to see what's going on. especially with the alphabet soup, especially with the government's going to take care of you rhetoric, narrative, you name it. I've told women I voted for Trump and tell them why they are wrong for hating Trump and voting for Sippy Cup Joe. Sippy Cup Joe. Hey guys, look at your gas prices. They're $1.80 more than they were when Trump took over or when Trump left the office. Thanks. Tell all your liberal friends, hey, good job, Joe. He shut everything down. Now everything, inflation's out of control. He doesn't know what he's doing. Strong men will eventually prevail. Did you like the Kill Bill movies? To me, Tarantino's masterpiece, even over. Oh, okay. I think Pulp Fiction is his masterpiece, Mysterio, but Kill Bill's was great. And I love Django. Django was good. The last one, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I thought it was good, but I like some other stuff. I think he's retiring pretty quick. That's what he said. It was a good movie. She can't cook, she can't clean, wasn't raised with her father in the home, has more baggage than JFK, but wants you to marry her. That is a man that is literally pulling the covers back and deciding what does she bring to the table, which all men should. There's 1 to 2% of women that are worth potentially seeking a relationship with, but 98% are not recommended. Okay. Let's see. In my opinion, Joe and all his cronies are enemies of the state. Jeez. That is, I think, everyone's opinion, but you're absolutely right, Lord. He's just an idiot. That's an idiot. Red Robin or In-N-Out? I'm going to have to go In-N-Out. I like In-N-Out's fries. Red Robin's got the steak fries, although Red Robin's got what's the burger? Bonsai burger? I like that burger. Are there many big busted Pillsbury biscuit cans in Utah? Oh, geez, they're everywhere, Jawara. I think the less amounts of them are probably in like Southern California, Florida, where it's hot and they don't wear a lot of clothing. But Utah's got plenty of women that are trying to keep their weight up. Beautiful Life. Rocky Road sounds good on this hot summer day. Rocky Road is great. It's delicious. It's one of my favorites. My dad loved banana cream pies, banana ice cream, and I kind of got that. And I love Rocky Road, so I've always loved it. And I'm not like an ice cream junkie, but I do really like a really solid premium ice cream. T-Tox, Biden's brain is a bowl of cold oatmeal. Cold oatmeal is, again, not recommended. Joe Beijing Biden. What's Biden hiding? She's been on more polls than all the firefighters combined. Lord Spawn, Beautiful Life. Don't get married twice, coming from a lady in Laguna Beach. I would agree with that statement. Beautiful Life. Well said. Well said. Busted Pillsbury biscuit cans, keeping their weight up. More women have lost jobs than men. All those human resources jobs and jobs that report to the Vice President of Diversity Training and Manager of Social Justice reporting to the VP of Ethics. Ain't that the truth? HR is full of ladies and homosexual males that run the HR. Hey, did you guys ever watch Office Space? Everybody hated Toby. He was the HR guy. That just tells you. It's also a way to control people. HR. I hate HR. I don't know who can deny that Sleepy Joe is compromised at this point. He's been compromised since he got into politics. He's lied about everything. And they still, well, he wasn't chosen. We know what happened. Kamala Harris is the East Indian version of Monica Lewinsky. Just ask Willie Brown. Willie Brown loved politicking with Kamala Harris in a horizontal position. Enough said. Cold oatmeal, that loser is so close to falling apart that he's one hot bath and a palsy seizure away from being oatmeal. Is he even? I mean, is he a real guy? I mean, supposedly, who knows if he's real? The guy's whacked. I mean, what has he done? Again, what has he done? We're living in that movie, Idiocracy. Trump was our last hope. China, North Korea, and Russia they were afraid of Trump. They're not afraid anymore. They're sitting on the damn sidelines. They're waiting for their chance, guys. We need something bigger than a busted Pillsbury biscuit can. Women are way larger and grow wider than ever. Some like they are full of water. They are getting bigger. And I'm going to be in Mexico leaving on Tuesday, and I'm sure I'm going to see some heavies on that plane. I remember sitting next to a 450-pound guy on the plane, and I was like literally on the aisle row, and the stewardess took heart, and they let me go back in the back and sit on one of their jump seats, except when we landed or took off, and then they gave me wine the whole flight. I thought it was great, but man, this guy was huge. Ugh. Office Space was wonderful. I think this presidency is a sham. I think they put a demented actor in office to play the role of a prez. We know what's going to happen, guys. We know what's going to happen. The character that Renee Zellweger's play in Jerry Maguire is your 2% woman. I would agree with that statement. There are ladies out there, guys. I will not deny that. But 98% to 99%, even as Suzanne Fleming has talked about, are not recommended. I think the women that see my channels, the ones that I've known and interacted with, are solid women. Kamala should release a line of knee pads. Oh, that's funny. Creepy Joe Biden working to extend the moratorium. Yeah, it's not going to happen at the end of the month. They're going to keep pushing it out. Are you kidding me? Trump was the great white hope. I would agree. Jesse Lee Peterson. Joe Biden has been in politics for 50 years and has accomplished nothing. Absolutely. I got denied an interview from an internal referral, says Carl, on the East Coast, at a company, even though I had all the qualification and boxes checked for the position, because an HR Karen Googled me and saw that I brew beer. No surprise, Carl. Hope you're doing well, brother. Brad, she's not fat. She's thick and curvy. I just saw that there's there was a lady on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Her name's Hunter McGrady. She's got to be 350 pounds. She has a pretty face, but she's huge. Like that is not healthy. That is not healthy. That is not healthy. The fat acceptance movement is ridiculous. You're accepting horrible health conditions. No. People need to get their weight under control. It's as simple as that. That you have a better life instead of, it drives me nuts. Greg Adams has done a bunch on that, but geez Louise. To create a Biden speech, type in I Joe Biden, just hit the middle predict button until it makes a sense. What is it? I Joe Biden is the best in the country. That's not a good idea. The Republican Party in this country that's going on today. I'm telling you what up, G. HR Karens. David Castro's in the house. Good to see you, brother. Glad you're here. Tess Holiday. That's another one. It's just ridiculous. No more stimmies for the masses. Those handouts are over. Some bennies for parents and single moms. Single moms will always be taken care of by the government. So, nothing you can do about that. Rad, Google Belgium's Prime Minister of Health. Get the eye bleach ready. Is it like the current Health and Human Resources we have? The only thing that should be thick on a woman is her T and A. I would agree. Although I don't like big butts. Fat acceptance is accepting death. It's promoting death. It's saying, hey, just go be fat. You're okay. You're normal. No, you're not. Your body's out of whack. Working out sucks, but not fitting into my clothes sucks more. I would agree. Working out also moves energy and it gets your mental clarity that much more clear. Busted Pillsbury biscuit cans can love those comfortable HR jobs, says Joara. Joara, well, you got to write your 8th book. I keep waiting for you to change that handle. Author of 8 books on frame. Let's not forget what was on Hunter's computer. Oh, well, he's an artist now. He's letting his inner desire of learning about destiny on a canvas. He's an artist, but we know what he was before that. Let's not. John Boston was over a decade ago, so water under the bridge, but couldn't believe the feedback my friend gave me. Didn't want to work for the company anyway after hearing about that. Who would? Those guys sound like idiots. Would you ever DJ on a local radio station? You have great taste. I would love to do that. I would love to DJ. I think that'd be fun. Even Kate Upton hit the wall. You know, I haven't heard about her for a while. I think she had a kid, right? The wall is like death. It's inevitable. 5'3", 170 pounds is the average for ladies. Do you think the Fauci ouchie will cause sterility? It's going to cause something, Hefe Salcero. Good to have you. I have no boobs, says Beautiful Life. I'm not a big boob dude. Like, you know, I got buddies that love gigantic knockers, and I could care less. My ex-wife was a bee. I could care, you know. That's just me. I just like a pretty face. And someone that takes care of themselves. Lord Spawn, single moms are literally at the top of every handout list. They beat out literally everyone else, especially if she's a white single mom. Single, hetero, able-bodied men are the very last. Well said. Let the Lizzos keep arguing about their gut beauty. They won't be arguing with the medical bills. Who hurt you? Call me Coon. Who hurt you? When do you think the gut shrinks with fasting, or does it take time? For you, on your 48 hours, ends Tuesday around 9 a.m. Yeah, you'll see a notice with tomorrow morning. Actually, you'll probably see something before you go to bed tonight. I noticed a lot after about 8 hours. Start shrinking real quick. Carl, this world is insane. If I was in my 20s, I would have started my own business and never worked for anyone. I think we all would. If I had to do it all over again, I'd probably go into insurance, like right after high school. Just work my ass off for 12 years. By the time I'm 40, $500,000 in premiums coming in, living a great life, if not more. Lezo says she likes being big and beautiful because she's too lazy to lose weight. That's why. Remember, people pick the easy way out, Joara. They really do. It's easier to eat than to get on a treadmill. If a post-wall thought asks you to marry her, tell her after 5 years. I love gigantic knockers, says Lord Spawn. Rad likes them lean, but not mean. Hefe Salcero. I mean, I'm not like, I don't need a size 0. You know, a feminine woman. Simple as that. Feminine woman that has a pretty face and a pretty personality that respects her dude as the dude respects her. That's all. It doesn't seem like that big of a laundry list. I like a nice set of shapely legs under a miniskirt myself, says T-Tox. I think, yeah, it's the feminine woman. Women are beautiful. There is nothing wrong. And some guys like them, like Kardashian, you know, wear a bigger bottom. That's fine. Some guys like big busts. I like a pretty face with a woman that takes care of herself, very natural, very less is more, very little makeup. I don't like shit in their face, you know. And then whatever comes with it. I want somebody that's in shape, that likes to do things outside, you know. They can be 5'8", they can be 5'0". Doesn't matter. Big todays are tight. Big knockers are very distracting. The balance can make a red pillar a blue pillar. I think God put the breasts on a woman to distract men. Brad, that buddy of mine who's marrying the 300-pounder just posted pics of massive fish and chips before and after. Holy cow, she's eating more than all of us in this chat combined. John, this is what this is what I think you should do. Go to the reception, get like a arrangement of Twizzlers, and like maybe like a used bus pass. Don't put your name on it, and see if you hear that from your friggin' your friend. That is a train wreck. If she's 300 pounds at her wedding, she'll be 400 on her first anniversary. I've noticed that women on the work floor get overly flirtatious after I started keeping social contact to a bare minimum. They need the attention so much, it's disturbing. War goat, 100% truth back there, brother. When you remove the attention, they seek it. Simple as that, doesn't matter. Speak on fasting. I'm thinking of tracking the progress of 2 keto protein spinach smoothies per day for a week. Very well. Eat those 2 spinach between 12 and 8, and you'll have massive improvement in gains in weight loss and lean muscle. This is a Halloween, remember, common law the judge will throw at you. Common law, dude. You're absolutely right. You know, they're turning people living together as marriage. They could care less if there's a license. Young Kate Upton was extremely beautiful. I would agree. It's been proven that the female brain is wired to lean towards the left. That's why at divorce, they want to take everything from you, and Creepy Joe's brain is wired the same way. I am not happy, Anthony, with the person that is running our country. I have a couple of older women trying to slide in my DM and ask me what I'm up to. The game is all the same. John Boston, keep us posted on some of those conversations. Lord Spawn, best legs ever. Tina Turner, she did have a great set of legs. T-Tox L-back with no underwears and beautiful life under the miniskirt. Baby got back. Nothing better than a Latina with a nice round booty. Don't quit, persevere. Whatever floats your boat, don't quit. There are beautiful Latina women. Latina women, I think, accentuate their femininity in this world. There's just something about Latina women. Big tatas make me dumb. I think they're there for a purpose. Rad, do you now or did you ever collect anything? I like World War II pistol collecting. Ooh, you like the old pistols. Awesome. What did I collect? I used to collect stamps as a teenager. I had a bunch of stamps. If I collected anything, probably concert memorabilia that I've been to. But no, I didn't ever get the collection bug like others. My brother was really into Star Wars figures back in the 80s. He's got shit tons of them. But he's into it. Big knockers become hanging shoegazers after 60. The Kardashians, Jenners are witches. In my opinion, I believe they do witchcraft. They made a deal with somebody out of Toro. Beautiful life is 5'4". John Boston, big bottoms taking about bum cakes. My girl's got them. Big bottom driving out of my. How can I leave this behind? Big bottoms. Yeah, we were talking good times. Marriage is only for raising kids. It happens. It must be after heavy vetting. She has to never have been married before. That might make it work. That might give it a potential boost. We don't know in the future. Vetting would be extremely important. Can't believe the brother is marrying Orca the land whale. She went on Lizzo's website and found a simp. She went on Lizzo's website. Breakfast and supper now that I'm working with, lean meat and veggie lunch. Word Spawn. Nothing wrong with lean meat, guys. Joe Biden was installed and not inaugurated. Isn't that well said? We know what happened on January 6th. How do Tina's legs look now? Is she still alive? I think she is. She was married to a total jerk. Ike Turner. Italy won. Look at the fans of the soccer game. Women there are not 300 pounds. I wonder why. It's easier to eat food than to walk. It's easier to look at a screen than to be the screen. It's easy to sit around, deflect and blame. This is why you get yourself to the gym. You take care of yourself. You do hard. It's not easy. I mean, I've been fasting for so long I can do it, but it's not easy. But I get the benefits out of it. I know eventually it's not forever. And then, in 10 hours, all I got to do is make it to bedtime. And then the next morning I wake up and then I've got to get to 11. That's easy. You just drink water and maybe black coffee. But when you're done doing it, the benefits outweigh the difficulty of doing it. Do you have a workout routine? I go 3 days a week to do upper body. I do a little bit of legs, but my legs predominantly are on my mountain bike because I ride uphill in the summer and the fall. But when it's winter, I do lots of leg exercises, leg presses. But I do. When I do my weights, I do very slow reps, 5 seconds up, 5 seconds down, just get through one set. That's all I got to do. I don't do any treadmills. I walk on a treadmill for 3 to 5 minutes just to get my blood moving, and then I get in the weights. I'm in and out of the gym within 30 to 40 minutes, if not typically 30. Do 6 or 7 exercises, I'm done. I take a week off every 4 weeks, and then I get back to it. I'm done lifting all the huge heavy weights. I don't try to lift heavy anymore just because I want to be able to fit my clothes, and I don't want to look like a meathead just to keep myself lean. But yeah. I'm not the best eater, but I fast. I don't eat pizzas every night, but I try to balance it. Single moms and divorces are for entertainment purposes only. Well said. How's paying for all these women to get ribs removed? Health insurance? Who knows? It's ridiculous. You're taking a rib out. Your rib is protecting your organs, you idiots. Tina was drawn to Bad Boy Ike, as is most of them. I wish I'd kept all my concert stubs, 37 Grateful Dead shows, some of which were direct from their ticket office, and man, were they special. Driving my train high on cocaine, Carl. Women crave your attention so much they go crazy if you don't give them any, but they complain for clout if you do. Isn't that interesting? The nice guy gives them attention. Do they want the nice guy? No. The bad boy doesn't, and they crave him. Our brains are different. Adatoro, Latinas hit the wall at 21. They age horribly. They age like refrigerators. Square. Kevin Bacon is a great actor. What do you think? I liked him in Footloose. I liked him in The River Wild. I watched him in that one, it was like a ghost movie, some sort, like White Noise or something like that. But I would agree. What's the plan for Mexico escapades? I'm leaving Tuesday, back Monday. No live streams next week because I will be live. Well, I'll probably upload a video from the beach. I like Kevin Bacon. Got bacon in his name. We all love a good side of bacon. Bacon can do no wrong. There's a restaurant down in Salt Lake that has you can order its appetizer, 10 strips of bacon. It's candied bacon. That's the appetizer. One of their very famous appetizers. You can't go wrong with bacon. Tina Turner had a stroke. She's inducted into the Rock Hall this year. Interesting. Yeah, I haven't heard much from her. If you're into fasting, check out Cole from Snake Diet, Cole Robertson. Fat shaming at its best. I love him. He goes off, Mark. That dude goes off. The Snake Diet. Quit eating, fatties. Fasting really works. Everyone should do it. I would agree. Just start being a jerk towards women and do the opposite of what you would normally do. Did you guys ever see Seinfeld when George did the opposite? You can YouTube it. George Costanza does the opposite of everything. He gets hired. The chick likes him. Do the opposite when it comes to, if you like a woman, don't chase her. Don't give her attention. Watch what happens. Always do the opposite because all the other guys and simps and blue pillars are doing exactly what you think they're doing. Simping. Footloose. Kenny Loggins. Footloose was filmed down at Lehigh Roller Mills, about 40 minutes away. Yeah, Footloose is great. Fasting leads to autophagy, nature's cleaning machine, where the good cells eat the bad cells. Well said, T-Tox. I have fasted. I'll fast today probably at 6 to 12. I'm going to do 18. Tomorrow I'm going to do 22 to 24. And then Tuesday I will leave for Mexico. But fasting is great for anything, for getting rid of a cold, for getting rid of it. Basically, yeah, that's the best part of the whole fasting process is autophagy. It literally is destroying that good cells take over the bad cells. Well said, T-Tox. Just looked at Tina. I could have been happy getting old with her. Lord Spawn. African Arabs and Eastern European men are naturally red pill. The BS from women goes through one ear and out the other. Well, their programming has not caught up to them. The Western programming has not caught up to them. But I think it's going to be a lot different in the next 10 years. But you, my friend, are right. You, my friend, are right. After being red pill, you realize some of the songs you liked or music you listened to was simptastic. Yes. Lots of simping in songs, especially ballads. Marilyn Manson facing allegations from 13 women. I just see that. I saw that. Hi, my name is Rad. I'm unemployed and live with my parents. Why would she like a bald guy that's unemployed and lives with his parents? Oh, that's funny. Oh my gosh, I love Seinfeld. Seinfeld and Office Space. Remember Milton on the end of Office Space? Milton had this. He had that stapler, and he's asking the waiter, "Sir, I'd like another margarita." And the guy's speaking Spanish, and he starts getting mad. "I will shut this resort down. I will put strychnine in your guacamole." It's the best. That's the best. Good call out, John, of that episode. Beautiful life. I do daily 18.6 and OMAD every few days. I do a lot of OMAD. OMAD's good, man. I'm telling you, especially later in life, fasting is the holy grail of health. Women have too many options. Lone Wolf 1. Well said, brother. Some bonehead doctors speak against intermittent fasting because nobody goes to the doctors if they're fasting. Follow the money. Fasting is the greatest thing you can do. The body heals itself. When animals are sick, they go in the corner, they do not eat and drink until their body recovers. We lost that. People used to fast back in the day. And if you have 1 pound of fat on you, you should be fasting. That's food. So you ever seen a heavy guy starve? No. But the reality is, if there's no money in it for them, then they're going to shame it. Idiots. If your mind said, pull out a chair, pull one out, and sit in it, whether you are chivalrous or not, you're still paying the bill. Won't argue with that, call me coon. Bacon's River Wild was shot in Oregon, Montana. I liked it because John C. Reilly, one of my favorite actors, is in that one too. How long would you recommend people fast and how far in between? Well, if you're starting, you want to do 16-8. Do that for a month. Then go up to 17 or 18. If you can do that 3 days a week, typically 3 to 4 days a week, give yourself a day or two. That helps the body so it doesn't go to baseline, so it doesn't get accustomed to the same fast every day. So you might do 2 days of fasting. 16, the next day, full day of eating, eat from 8 in the morning till 10 at night. The next day, get back on your fast. You'll see massive improvements just by doing that. But I don't fast every day, 4 to 5 days a week. And I do small ones, I do long ones. I do 35-hour one, I do 24, I do 18. Depends on what my gut looks like. Women don't love men, they love what the guy can give her. Women are in love with what the man can provide. I would agree, the majority. Why do women pull that dogpiling accusation bullshit? Remember that dude accused of rape after helping that woman? Attention, validation. Yeah, false allegation. What happened to the Duke lacrosse team? Remember that about 10 years ago? Those 4 players expelled and it was all made up? Maybe it's to shame men. Who knows? Maybe they had a horrible father and they're taking it out on every man. She's talking to 15 to 20 other guys. Forget it. I would agree. I learned a lot from the Frasier sitcom. Frasier was great too. The wolf climbing the hill is more hungry than the wolf at the top of the hill. Ain't that right? 16 and 8 is an easy fast. I would agree. But now he's got 5 literal nobodies coming out of the woodwork to accuse him. We need to put false accusers away for very long times. I wish the court would take a look at that. But the court sees a moneymaker. There is a guy, Butter Bob Briggs. He lost 100 pounds and did fasting and ate meat and fat. Great channel explaining how hormones lock fat away. I think I've seen that channel. When I first left the house, I was 30 pounds overweight. And I started fasting and working out. Within 2 months, I was down 25 pounds. Kept it off ever since. Now I fluctuate. And then when I eat and drink, when I go fasting, my face gets very thinned out. The bloating goes down. My body gets tightened up. But I also like to work out when I'm fasting. So if I'm fasting let's say I'm doing a 24, 11 to 11, I'll work out at 8 in the morning. So I'll have 3 hours of fasting in a fasted state. You have so much energy when you fast, just FYI, because all of that energy that your digestive system is using now goes to other areas of your body. It gives the opportunity for your digestive tract to rest. Yeah, Cole Robinson's funny. I'm surprised he has not been canceled because he goes off on feminists. He says every damn word in the book. He calls them fat CUNTs. I mean, and he's still on. And people hate him, but he's legit, man. He is legit. You want motivation to go fast? YouTube snake diet. 7-day water and fruit fast cure for most ailment. There's nothing wrong with that, brother. Remember that news lady on the Duke team? She still thought they were guilty even after the accused. That is called delusion, which leads to a town called Wacko. Lord Spawn, my ex, did the false accusation, took my kids from me and lied in court. Courts don't like it, but if you prove she's wrong, they can't screw with you too bad. They get a slap on the wrist, that's all. And Instagram traditional Muslim women are now wearing hijabs with micro bikinis. Feminism is worldwide. Feminism and female nature is everywhere. The internet has made the world flat. Cole has been shadow banned and blocked on YouTube. Interesting. I checked him out, I think last week. I was looking for some. I like it when he gets really political. He hates Trudeau. And he hates liberals. Or he hates liberalism. We don't hate anyone. We don't like feminism. We don't like liberalism. We don't like what it's done to society. We don't like what false accusations have done. And we just want to build ourselves and to build a great life by navigating and understanding how and when a woman should be part of your life, or if they should be. I'm not saying they should or shouldn't. I'm saying if you do choose, you navigate a life with them being a complement. If you find the 1% to 2%, 98% are not recommended. If you can find the 1% to 2%, more power to you. And if you build your life around your pursuit of purpose, you're going to have a good life. If you give all of your power away to somebody because they're beautiful and they have mermaid hair, and they put out, well, that's probably not the smart. That's the guy that built his house on sand, not the guy that built his house on a rock. The guy that built his house on a rock understands the reality versus the fantasy. We live in a fantastical version of story writing. We literally believe that the next person is in the wall. But if you really pull the covers back, you just see that your chemicals of dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin are through the roof. It's as simple as that. If you can understand that, you can pull it back and say, hold on, I'm getting really excited. I really like this, but I understand these are part of a physical component, a chemical reaction to this person. Eventually it'll come back and you can navigate and not be so bamboozled. Each false accusation costs a man 5 to 20. Happened to my buddy, cost him $25,000. Dallas, Fort Worth is the capital of beautiful and conservative-minded women. I just moved to Dallas from NYC. NYC is a liberal cesspool. Oh, not a big fan of New York City. I mean, I like their food and the hustle and bustle. One day is all. It's like going to Vegas. Dallas is cool too. Nancy Grace, that was her name. That woman was literally insane. I would agree. She was the first Karen. Didn't they have to let her go because she got too anti-male? She's the first Karen. She's the first Karen. Well, that's the deal, guys. Who hurt you? We hurt ourselves because we didn't understand female nature. We hurt ourselves because we didn't know how to navigate life due to the conditioning that we were programmed with from Disney, from sappy love songs and ballads that we grew up with. And now we have the cheat code to life, which is, hey, I'm on purpose, I'm on point, I'm going to put myself center, and this is what I'm going to do, instead of giving it to somebody else. That somebody else could be a family member, a boss, a friend, a spouse, coworker. Take all that power back and say, look, guess what? No longer am I going to put somebody else first ahead of me. Now, if you have children, that's a different story, but eventually they're going to grow up too. That's got to be your mindset. The first Karen is Hillary Clinton. You might not be wrong there. Your pal paid $25 to fight a false accusation from his wife. Yes. He had to go to court, anger management, pay fees. His lawyer probably was the majority of it, and they had to get it expunged. All because she made something up when he wasn't even in the house. Hollywood has brainwashed multiple generations of men into thinking women are these divine loving beings that we have to protect at all costs. Where did that come from? Think about that. Where did that come from? Now, back when, in the 30s and 40s and before that, women did take pride in being feminine and being co-pilot and submissive. And I don't say submissive in a way that they're barefoot and pregnant, just more allowing the man to lead. But where has that gotten them now in the last 50 years? But you're absolutely right. The programming has completely changed, War Goat. What about Kate from John and Kate? Oh, jeez. I can't stand her. That chick was a total Karen. She's damaged goods. It'll be interesting to watch her. What's going to happen? Ain't no man going to deal with her. All you have to do is watch an episode. Can't stand Vegas. Bootleg Canyon's a bomb for downhilling, though. Mark says the truth. Vegas is old. The only place I go in Vegas is old Vegas, Fremont Street, because I love to watch the wackos. But you can only be in Vegas for 6 hours, and then you're bored of it. But Bootleg Canyon's dope. Massachusetts is full of green-haired Karens and Elizabeth Warrens. Pocahontas is in Boston. Hillary is the only Karen that can make you suicide for asking who are you. Well, they say that Bill Clinton and Hillary, they met each other because they were dating the same woman. You guys have been great. This is Rebel Against Defeat. Remember, when they say who hurt you, you just say, I just woke up to female nature. I woke up to the fact that I'm putting myself first, and that's it. Nothing else, right? Let's see what we got. I've never been in New York City. Don't want to go and get a tax bill from government. Cuomo. Guido. No, what do they call him? Frito? Who was it that you were talking about who despised Trudeau? Cole Robinson of Snake Diet. You guys have been great. Have a great week next week. Watch my videos from Mexico, and we'll bust it up. Let me get one more. Freddy Krueger, why get into a long-term relationship or get married when you know she's going to get bored and be interested in other men? She'll leave you and you'll be heartbroken. Those are wise words, Freddy. Do not get shamed into submission. That's how they get men who can't stand up to them. Rebel Against Defeat, chase, excellence, masculinity, men first.